Hello. Hi. I'm just going to wait and see who is here. This is the first time I'm doing this live like this directly on YouTube. It's usually through Zoom. No one is here. All right. Well, I'm just going to start then because this is going to go to a video anyway. And so I want to take some time at the beginning of this and I've got a lot of notes, to talk about basically what we've learned from the last 3 live streams of Fix My Home, which is what I've just decided to call this. And hopefully, hi. Oh, you're here. Hello. Can you hear me okay? You're the first person. All right. So I thought it would be great to go over and kind of recap. Hello. Hey. Hi. Let's see. Oh, yes, you can hear me. Okay, good. Latoya, hello. All right. So what I was thinking that I would do is I would just kind of recap everything. Maybe I should just wait and let everybody get here because that would be great. I'm so glad. So we've learned so much from these last 3 episodes. I know that I have, and I really enjoyed this experience. Hey, Debbie. Hi. I've learned so much from you all, and I've really just enjoyed connecting with all of you. And I definitely want to do this. Hey, girl, how are you? Everybody's here. Yay. So I'm seeing all my favorite people coming up. So this is so great. I thought it'd be great to just kind of share with you like what I think we've probably learned like as a collective, as well as what I've learned, because this was a whole new format for me, just trying this live and getting on the Zoom calls with you all and sort of just like quickly creating something for you. And really it was a challenge for me to be able to come up with something like that fast. Usually I would spend more time like diving into it, but it also really helped sharpen me to become better at sourcing. Like, oh, I know I saw something here, or no, I know I saw something here. So I just want to, I don't know, maybe we should wait. I think this is a good amount of people for sure. I just want to check one thing. Okay, let's just go ahead and get started. I feel so unorganized. I haven't been feeling very well. I'm feeling back to normal. So thank you all for all the sweet, wonderful wishes that you sent me. It's just us here. So I've also been going through something with my mom. My mom has cancer and she lives in Kansas City, Missouri, and I live here in New York. So it's just been a lot to deal with that, and then not feeling well. And I think I just kind of got myself to just a place where I wasn't taking care of myself like I should, because I was putting a lot of other things ahead. And I think I just got really tired and just really wore down. And you know what happens to your immune system when you're under stress. So anyway, that's what happened. So I just want to share that with you. But thank you all for being so sweet and just so loving. Yeah. Thank you, KJ. Thank you all for just being the wonderful people that you are. I can honestly say that I love you all. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I can honestly say that I love you all. Like, I've gotten to know you all so well through the comments, and I missed you all, like not making a video last Sunday and then getting to exchange with you in the comments. I really missed all of you. So I'm happy to be here. So let's go ahead and jump in and recap on what we learned. So I think the first thing that I would say, I've got this in order, but it's not necessarily. Thank you all. Thank you, Tasha. I think that it's not in a particular order, but I went through all the videos and I really just kind of picked out the things that I think we all feel most challenged with. Hey, Cheyenne. Hi. Oh, you all are so great. I hope that someday we all get to meet and I would hug all of you, each one of you. So one of the things was just kind of the importance of cohesion. Even if your style is eclectic, I feel like, with eclectic style, it's it's actually more challenging to be a person with diverse taste than it is to be someone with just like a very like, here's my style kind of thing, and then you could just kind of follow that. There's so many people, thank you very much, Debbie. There's so many people that have kind of a blanket style, so you can pretty much go on any video or any Instagram and kind of find things that sort of replicate that same style consistently. Like, if you like organic modern, that's the one that just always comes to mind because I feel like that's such a trend. So if you are an eclectic person, if you like eclectic, an eclectic mix, if you're buying things like secondhand, like, which is very much what I do, but I'm also creative, and I think all of you guys are very creative. And now that I've seen like your homes and your style and your taste and everything, I think when you are like that, you like a lot of different things. And so I think that can be challenging to create cohesion in your home. So, but even though you are eclectic, cohesion is still necessary. And so some of the ways that you can create the cohesion, like just from what we've seen, like on the last lives and just your comments and things, are matching, like not necessarily matching everything, but matching like kind of the vibe or the temperature, or creating like aligning things that have a similar sort of not style, but okay, for example, like your wood tones. So a lot of woods, like we saw, I remember it was Carolyn. Was it Carolyn? No, it wasn't Carolyn. Now I'm completely, was it Jamie? She had a few different styles of wood, and she had the piano. I think she had the piano that was a family heirloom. And so most of her woods were a lighter color, but she had this like cherry wood family heirloom piano that wasn't going anywhere. So when you have all these different style of woods, it can create difficulty there. But one way that she was willing or able to, for my suggestion anyway, to overcome that challenge was to kind of lean into the obstacle or the design challenge that she had. And so one of the things I recommended was kind of embracing that color and integrating that color into her design. So I think a big part of the eclectic style that you have to really focus on is color, is focusing on color. And what I mean by that, when you have an eclectic style, paint on the walls will really help tie things together. So if you have many different objects, but if you can find like an underlying color that they all possess, or a few of them possess, like just throwing out an odd number, like maybe, you've got some pillows or a sofa or a rug or a piece of artwork, and you have like three things in that space that have a similar color in common. If you integrate that color paint on the wall, that's going to create an instant feeling of cohesion because the paint on the wall takes up so much of the space. And I would look at integrating that palette throughout the home. Hi, no worries, Dana, no worries. I'm happy you're here. So I'm just recapping on some of the things that we've kind of touched on with the last 3 lives. And then of course, you all please put your questions in here. No worries. It's totally fine for signing on late. We're just getting started. Please be sure, like if you have questions, type them in the chat here because I can answer them right here for you as well. And if for some reason a question comes up later, just put it in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. You all know that I read every single comment and I respond to you all. So I really want to help you in any way that I can do that. So let me know. So the other thing I was thinking, like saying about color, is working with the complementary colors in the color wheel. And what I would do if I were you, I do have an image of the color wheel. Oh, just Christina, you and your husband look at, oh, we look sophisticated, but we're like the biggest bunch of, like, we're like the biggest dorks. We're like such dorks and such homebodies, but I love that you think that we look so sophisticated. I love it. So I'm going to share this with you on my phone. So this is like color science, and you can see this is a color wheel. So what I would suggest you do, I will touch on this in a future video, but I would Google like color wheel or complementary colors color wheel. And so what you'll see on that, you can kind of see, oh, you can kind of see here, you've got like yellow and purple. The color directly across from, how should I say this? Each color has an opposite color on the wheel, and that color is the complementary color. So for example, the yellow is yellow and purple are complementary, red and green are complementary. Okay. Then you have analogous. I think that's the word. Ugh, I feel so bad, but analogous. Yes, analogous are the colors that are kind of like, when you talk about color drenching, that's kind of the analogous colors. They're the same, like these three green colors are these three like purple and blue, or these red colors, or the orange shades. So these, you can use these in a palette too, and they will complement each other. So I will make a future video about this. I don't know if the whole video will be about this, but we'll get into this. But this is something to look up because I know you all had asked about the color wheel. But that's going to be like if you work with complementary colors in your home to create the cohesion. So that's the one thing. The cohesion is really important. And I think everybody that was on the call was pretty eclectic. If I can recall everybody's kind of vibe, everybody's kind of look, it was all pretty eclectic. I'm just trying to remember in my mind. Also, when I was talking about Carrie's home and the piano that was an heirloom, that's the other thing. Lean into the obstacle. I think that sometimes when we have these obstacles, we just kind of draw blank with it. Like, how do we approach this obstacle? How do we do something with this? How do we make it work? And I look at interior design and like decorating as a game, like it's a challenge, like it's a puzzle, and I love puzzles. So you're trying to figure out, there's a solution to everything if you look for it. If you allow yourself to get creative, there's a solution to everything. And that goes for design and decorating, and then just my philosophy for life. So I feel like what you all are doing with your home and in your interior design and your decorating is very closely related to life. It's our life within our home, which is the most sacred space in the world for each one of us, is our homes. So lead into the obstacles. Carrie had the piano that I mentioned. Heather had a lot of gray. I remember she had the gray floors. She said she had gray tiles in the bathroom. She bought a home, I guess, that had just been recently renovated before they closed on it. And everything was done safely in all of this gray, including the floors were like kind of a gray brown color. And one of the things I said to her was to kind of, let's see, I think one thing that has helped me, this is Latoya, one thing that has helped me a lot is looking at this space, then going on Pinterest, looking for color schemes that match. This has gotten me, yeah, exactly. You could 100% do that, especially with color. Because I think that, yes, and that's how you found those tiles that were like your color palette too, if I remember correctly. That's right. Because you had that great little palette that just happened to be like an image of tiles. So I was like, where did you get that? Yes, exactly. So I think that with Heather, she had the lot of gray in the floor. And one of the things that I suggested to her was, don't focus on what you don't like so much. Just embrace it and know that it's there. Granted, you could always paint the walls, but like the tiles are more expensive to replace. The floor would be more expensive to replace. And not everybody can do those things, in that moment, but we can do other things. Like for me, for example, in my home, the house in the country, we have very old floors. They're the original floors from when the home was built in 55. So they have a lot of wear and tear on it because it was a rental house for, I guess, I don't know, it was probably several years after the owner had passed. and the daughters had rented it out. And so when we got into the house, we were like, oh, we need to sand these floors. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to change the color. And then we found out how much it was going to cost to sand the floors. And so it was like, okay, we're going to renovate this house in a couple years. It doesn't make sense to spend like $3,000 to $5,000 to redo all these floors when we're going to renovate, and we'd rather do like everything at once than just to have the headache of the floors that would take us a couple weeks to get done anyway. And so we just embraced the floors. One of the suggestions I had with her, and you could follow this too, was like, if you don't like your floors, get a big rug. I told her to get a big rug. She had these grayish brown floors. She had these beautiful warm leather like club chairs in her living room. And my thought was, let's embrace that warmer color palette, because gray is a neutral. Yes, gray can have cooler tones or warmer tones, but I think that if you really just embrace it and go with the warm, which is what I was kind of advising her to do, then you can tone down that gray a bit. And so I would love to know what she ends up doing. I don't think Heather's here. If you are here, Heather, I remember you had a different handle, so I don't think you're here. But if you are, send me a text, because I want to know, or send me a message, because I want to know what you ended up doing if you got that rust-colored rug. I also mentioned using paint to transform a room and create cohesion. And then don't forget about painting the ceilings, especially if your ceilings are not super high, because you'll kind of lose the line. So you see behind me, our ceilings aren't really, really high in this apartment. But if you paint the ceiling, that line, that demarcation line from the wall to the ceiling kind of fades in. So it's like the ceiling, you're not focused on, oh, there's the white ceiling, And I think I've heard that people will wallpaper their ceilings too, which I don't think is a bad thing. But if your ceilings aren't really high, it will draw attention to the fact that the ceilings aren't really high, if that makes sense. And just let me know, again, just a reminder, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm just going through things, but, and if you have a question over what I'm going through, just let me know too. I'm just going to go through these, my list. And then obviously your questions are really important to me, so please chime in. Using light fixtures to create a statement. Okay, so if you have, and I think it was Tasha had the condo cube is what she called it. And that's a really great way to create a focal point, is using the light fixture, because if you do not have any like an architectural, if you don't have a lot of architectural details in your home, you can add them through a light fixture. So find a light fixture that emulates your yes, the tube, there you are. Find a light fixture that is expressive of your personality, or that expresses the feeling you want to create in your home. And that immediately becomes a centerpiece and a focal point. So, and if you don't have the wiring available in your ceiling for a focal point sort of light fixture, there are the pieces that have the cord. And I've seen very artistic and creative ways, especially on Pinterest, where people have lined the cord, like a black cord along the wall, and then let it drape, and they kind of double those two up, and they have two very cool fixtures kind of stacked. And so I love a black line. There's just something about that. It reminds me of a drawing, I suppose. But you can find some way to be creative with that. And if you need some suggestions, I'm happy to share that with you. Let's see. Using wall space to bring the eye up and define a room. That was Anna. Anna, I don't know if you're here. I don't think so. Anna is not anywhere near our time zone. She's in Europe. But she had the issue with, and this reminds me a little bit of your condo, Tasha, because it's a long room, and there wasn't a lot to define the space and create separation in those rooms, like from the living room to the dining room area. And with Anna, I had recommended getting some kind of she was very into like Danish style furniture, and kind of like a modern or mid-century modern furniture. So I recommended like a mid-century wall piece. I think that would be a great way to, especially with her style, to create the separation. So you're not actually putting a barrier in between the rooms where she would have been losing light going into the dining room. But with that piece on the wall, that then creates that designated space that was the living room. And she could integrate her television. You could put your books, your art collection, different things like that. So fully utilizing the wall space, I think, is really important. And I feel like when I've seen some of the submissions, not just from you all, but like other people and just things that I've seen like online on homes, a lot of people are not utilizing the wall space as much as they could. But doing it in a aesthetically pleasing way, and bringing the eye up, getting things off the floor and bringing the eye up. If you saw the video, I'll reach this one moment. If you saw the video that I did about the small apartments, that one I go into like bringing things up onto the wall, using wall shelving and stuff like that, because you want to have, I call the floorboard space like valuable real estate, like in a small home or a small apartment. I've had many, and that's like kind of the way of living in New York City. But that floorboard, it's like when you see that, I don't know, it's kind of like, I don't know, I was going to make a bad analogy, but when you can see the floorboard, it feels like you have more space, because when you have a small place and there's something on the walls, like near the floorboard, like there's an item around the room occupying all the floorboard space, it feels a little more enclosed. But if you could see those like gaps there, those are designated gaps that you're fully utilizing that negative space, then it does create the illusion of like, we have so much space, we have empty floorboard space. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a question. The Noguchi pendant lamp was the best decision I've ever made. Look up wait, where did it go? Dara Copangrio sunroom for inspo. Okay, well, what are your thoughts on great art pieces that are different color palettes but in the same room? I think it comes down to the room as a whole, because I have artwork in my home that is not in anywhere near the same color as my furniture pieces. So I have like some neutral artwork with like black furniture, white furniture, stuff like that. I think it just depends on the room. It depends on, I would have to see the room and I'd have to see the art. But my question to you, KJ, would be, when you look at it, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel like it? Because see, this is what's most important, I think, is how do you feel when you see it? Because this is your home. So I could, you could have all these design rules and I could tell you this and this and this was what you should be doing. But I think ultimately it depends on how you feel. But if you want to, KJ, if you want to email me, I put my email in the description here. If you want to email me the room and the image or the artwork, then I will give you my assessment. But again, I always come down to, I think how do you feel when you see it? You ultimately, I think intuitively can feel like here in your gut or in your chest if something looks good or doesn't look good. And I think it's really important to tune yourself into that intuition, because that's going to be your best friend. That is your best friend in general in life, like making decisions, period. But in your home, I think that's what's going to give you confidence to make the decisions, like going bold with the color, like Carolyn did. She bought that turquoise and orange rug to go with her teal sofa. So I'm so excited for her. But it's like, you can feel it if it's right. Okay. What type of flooring would you recommend for a basement studio? Currently have brown carpet that deeply needs updating. Okay, so basement is tough because the floor is going to be cold. And I would say that you could do a couple different things. It just depends on how much money you have. But I think probably one of the simplest and easiest and most accessible ways is to put a sort of prefabricated flooring, like I don't know why, guys, I'm sorry, my brain is not working today, but put that down. So the kind that looks like wood flooring, but it's a tile. because you need something. If it's a basement, you want to be careful if there's ever any leaks or anything like that. But then also I would want to put rugs on top of that, like find a beautiful area rug to put on top of that. Because I would never just want like a tile floor down or engineered wood floor down alone in a basement, because basements tend to be kind of cold and you really need to cozy it up. But I'm not in love with the fully carpeted basement. I've seen a lot of those. It does make it warmer, but I don't know. I just like the look of not having wall to wall carpet in a basement. So that's what I would recommend. Like either a tile that looks like floor, and there's some really nice, it can be expensive, but beautiful tile. You could put stone tile down as well. You could do terrazzo, which I think is very cool. But these things can be very expensive. But ultimately, I would top it with a rug for sure. I hope that helped you, Melina. Let me know if I need to elaborate on that. Tasha, that's one of my favorites, of course, the small space video. I made changes already. Oh, move the desk over to the... Yes. Oh my gosh, you moved the desk. Okay, you have to show me that. So that's Simple Piece is Tasha, and she was in the last video, and we were going over her condo tube, and she had a work from home area. Okay, I actually swapped them around and they felt better. Okay. Yes, did that help you, Melina? Am I pronouncing your name right? Mylena? Mylena, that's very pretty. Okay, if you need some suggestions, find me on Instagram or email me and I'm happy to help you. Okay, so any other questions? None yet. Okay, so let me go back to the list. Okay, so basically I want to come back to Carolyn because I was talking about your intuition and listening to that like gut feeling. I think I would say that we are all, and myself included at times, we can all be a little timid when it comes to expressing ourselves in our homes, like especially when it comes to color or making that purchase to buy something that we really, it feels right. Like I'm touching my stomach because this is like your second brain, right? That feels right. It feels like, yes, I really wanted this to be so exciting. Oh, but then there's like this little voice in your head that says, no, go for this, do this, don't get that. You know, you start second guessing yourself. But it's kind of like we all have this like little auditor in our brain that says, no, no, no. But that's like the kid inside of you says, yes, this would be so great. I would love to express myself that way. And I think that's really important. I think your home is your safe space. Your home is your sacred space. What if you thought, I want to paint my walls, I don't know, yellow or something, like mustard, muted pastel mustard yellow, if you could see that color in your mind, because I actually really like this color a lot. What if I wanted to paint my bedroom that color? Okay. And there was something inside of me that was like, yes, 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 I definitely want to do that. That sounds like fun. I'd love to do that. Oh, I've always wanted that, or da, 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 you know, like things like that. But then that auditor inside, that voice starts auditing your desires and says, no, 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 you can't do that. That's such a crazy color. What will someone think? Or, you know, you start second guessing yourself. And I think that it's just paint. It's a few hours of your time to paint it. And if you absolutely hate it and you grow tired of it in three months or something, then you paint it again. Painting is great exercise and it's good to move. And I just feel like it's just paint, you know? And I think that your home is kind of like your own artist studio. I think of you as the artist of your home, and you are creating what you feel is beautiful in your home. So I could tell you like everything and all the things and give you all the tips, but ultimately it's how do you feel when you're in your home? I think that's really important. You had a mustard wheatish bedroom. I couldn't believe it, but I loved it. I know. You know what, Jilly, you actually, when I started saying that, I just reminded myself, I think it was like back in 2002 or 3, I had a light mustard pastel-y, kind of like a muted mustard, but it was like a pastel, like a lighter version of that in my bedroom when I was at my university, and I had like some roommates, And that paint was already in the bedroom when I decided to move in with my friends. And I actually loved it so much. Oh my gosh, that's weird that would come up. Okay, I have a million questions. I feel like I don't know where to start. Do you do paid video consultations? Yes, Dana, it seems almost like we like staged that question, because in May next month, like it's towards the end of the month, May, June, I'm going to be launching my website. So yes, I will be doing paid video consultations. If you all want to be on the mailing list, my email is going to be in the subject of this video, this live. So email me and just say mailing list. So I'll add you to the mailing list, because it's going to be more than just like my interior design boutique. It will be, I'll do e-design, I'll do video consultations. I'm also going to put some of my curated collections of finds, working with some artists to bring you some artwork, art prints, things like that you can bring into your house that I kind of, with my highly curated eye, find and then bring them to you. So things like that. Yeah, it wasn't staged, I promise. But it was like, wow, that's such an opportune moment. Okay, so, but Dana, also feel free to email me. Let's see. Hi. Oh, Cheyenne, I have a question. Please, my entry opens directly into the living dining room combo, and trying to figure out an area rug solution that has been a bit of a challenge. Should they match? Oh, this is a really good question. Okay, so here's kind of like the rule with this. They don't have to match, but they really need to speak the same language. Ideally, what you would like to do, if you can see, okay, let's say you're standing there and you see the entry and you see the other room. So if you can see those two rooms together, it's within eyesight, then they really should match. That would be like the ideal. That's one, actually, that's not the ideal, but that's one way to handle that, would be that it would match. And that's probably the easiest way to handle that, because the second way to do that is to make sure they complement each other. So they like speak the same language with each other. And that one gets a little more difficult, because one could be a pattern and then the other one could be a solid. But I would make sure that if it's a pattern, it's probably, this is my opinion, a little more subtle with the solid. And when you find the solid, it needs to be from that rug. That would be like a pattern if you were going that route. And it needs to be a more dominant color in that rug, because if it's a little color, it's going to still look like they clash. So you need to have a little bit more, like, find the dominant color. If it's a pattern rug, Cheyenne, that you're trying to match a solid color rug with, find a dominant color in the pattern and then choose the solid rug. So you could do it one of two ways. I would not mix patterns, because that is too hard to get them to speak the same language. It's not impossible, but you have to find two very subtle patterns that really complement each other. So I guess technically there's three ways to do that. But the easiest way, and kind of like the standard, is if you see that open area, if you can see multiple rooms, those rugs really should go together. Does Cheyenne, did that help you? Oh my God. Oh my God, Latoya. We are so much alike, like our styles. That's why I thought you were a Libra. I was like, are you a Libra? Your bedroom was a light mustard yellow for years. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you know what? That's what I was saying on the video. So yes, the last video, the last live, Latoya, we were talking about her room, and I'm like, I just see yellow when I see you. Like, but you just, like, I think when you see someone in yellow, you associate with them with yellow. That's like a very cheerful demeanor, a very sunshiny person. Okay. I was thinking of painting my powder room a yellow. Yes. Okay. I'm loving this yellow. All right. Yay for your new website. Yes. I'm really excited. It's a lot of work, and it's like new territory to jump into, because I'm also, I work for a developer in New York City. So I'm very busy with that on my project. My project is a really beautiful building on the Upper West Side. It's like 70 stories tall. It's gorgeous, but it's not open to the public. So I can't even really talk about it, but it's a secret building. Yes. Okay, good, Cheyenne. I'm really happy. Feel free to, let me know if you want me to look at something. I'm happy to look at it. I love you all and I love helping you. This is so much fun for me. I only hope that I can bring you all fun. I think I covered, well, no, I have a couple more. Picture life. Oh, you know what? The other thing I just wanted to let you know, one of the last things that I want to bring up from the previous videos was the use of picture lights. Like, I am always surprised at people not thinking about using picture lights. So I wanted to just bring that up on this because that was something that came up with two people's homes that I recommended. Actually, it was two different videos also. But I think the picture light is great because if you have artwork or if you have a picture up, you really need to, okay, first of all, you need to make sure you have enough lighting in the room. And sometimes a lamp is just takes up too much space, especially if you have a small space. A picture light is great. You can buy battery operated picture lights on Amazon. I've purchased them. They have a little remote, which is great. And then it just attaches to the back of the frame. You could do that. I've seen a few different types. So you really don't even need to have a cord that plugs in. You can actually just attach it to the wall and it's battery operated. But this is a great way to, one, utilize the wall space, because if you have the small place, you need to utilize the wall space and bring the eye up. Put the picture light up. It could be on a canvas, it could be in a frame, and then, I said put the picture light, I meant put the picture up or the canvas, frame piece of art, add the picture light above. That not only is a light source, but it also is a very sophisticated way to display your art. Okay. I saw you, Latoya. Yeah. Cherry despite the obstacles, shining bright. Oh, yes. She is cheery despite all the obstacles. But you know what? She's at a new beginning. And I know it's going to be a great new beginning for you. Thank you. That's such a compliment. Okay. I hope you're feeling better. Any resources for area rugs? You posted a fun green rug 2 weeks ago. Yes. Did you like that rug? So I have your email. I'll email you. I still have that green rug. I still have it. I will email it to you. Any resources for area rugs? That is tough because I'm not someone who just buys things from one source. It's really like finding the perfect piece for the perfect space. Restoration Hardware has some really nice rugs and they have some very good sales. So their palette I think is kind of neutral. I've seen some nice rug. It just really depends. I think you got to send me a picture of what of your space that you're looking for a rug, and then I can help you. Loving my space as is, but if I wanted to play with layers, could I stacks of books piled strategically? Okay, stacks of books piled strategically on the floor. Put art in fun places like above a light switch or above a door. Yeah, I mean, I think you can have a lot of fun. I feel like right now is really fun because people are getting very creative with the way that they display the items in their home, or hanging art is done in a very creative way. I would say that you always want to make sure that your home or whatever it is you're designing or decorating, you practice harmony, unity, and balance. So if you have not seen those videos, the hub videos, go and look at the principles of interior design just so you can understand that. But I think it's okay. First of all, I'm a lover of stacks of books. I've lived in many lofts, and there were times when I'm kind of a book hoarder, not so much anymore because I live in New York in tiny apartments. But now that we have the house, it's like the book collection is beginning again. So I love stacks of books, and I used to stack up books, put a candle on top. I mean, stacks of books were like by end tables. I used to find like funky single chairs at thrift stores, and that would become like a table that would hold stacks of books. And then I put a plant on top or a candle on top. So yeah, have fun. I mean, I think again, it goes back to, does it feel right to you? Does it look good to you? And I think it's like we need to practice doing things that feel right to us and look good to us. And then I think the more that we do that in our home, the more we feel confident about our decisions. Start buying 3D or sculptural art, not just framed art. Thoughts? Okay. Put art in fun places like yeah, absolutely, above a light switch or above a doorway. Yes, you can do all of that. I have seen, okay, there's only one thing I have to say about this that I've seen, and I was actually going to put it in one of the future videos, was some people are putting shelves like above the door frame, which can look very good. I've seen it look very good, and I've seen it not look good. So again, you really want to practice making sure that it looks balanced, because if it's just like certain things, and there's an asymmetrical balance too. So that's why I say look at those principles of interior design, because if you have something offset and not perfectly like balanced on both sides, but it's slightly offset, you want to kind of balance it on the other side. So it could be with something else, or it could be with negative space, but you have to really play with the way those things feel together. Start buying 3D or sculptural art, not just framed art. Thoughts? Anything else? I'm not sure what you mean about start buying 3D or sculptural art, not just framed art. I mean, I love sculptural art. So 3-dimensional pieces and sculptural pieces, I think, are probably my favorite types of things, even though I'm an artist and a painter. There's some of my paintings over there. My first love was sculpture. So I love sculptural pieces. Is it okay to use 2 above a long? Yes. Are you talking about the picture lights? Because yes, you do. If you have a very big piece of art, ideally you want to get a light, like the picture light is about the size of, it's like 2/3 the size of the piece. And if you can't get it 2/3 of the size, you can use 2 side by side. Or not side by side, but spaced out slightly. So they kind of take up the width of 2/3 of the space. So that way you're seeing more of the light, or seeing more of the piece. I like the idea of picture lights that are battery operated. Yes, they're great. I'm telling you. It's just such a great light source. We have a large painting in our dining room at the house, and I've got a picture light above that. And so we'll dim down the overhead light that's above the dining table, and then we'll light the picture light. And I just love the way that looks. It's just it looks so nice. Let's see. Problem with my medium brown couch and burgundy red leather chairs. How do I? Okay, you have a problem with a medium brown couch and burgundy red leather chairs. How to get them to feel like they belong? My first vision is to find a rug that has brown and burgundy in it, a pattern. That's the first thing I would think of. Then I would look at integrating things on the wall. I'd look for some artwork with, don't go overboard, but like if you have the rug that tied those 2 pieces together. The reason why I say rug is because you've got these 2 pieces on the floor together. So you really need something to make them feel like they belong, like they're a family. So you need to bring in that other piece to create that feeling of cohesion. Then I would look at art pieces, sculptural pieces, vessels, pictures, paintings, etc., drapes, things like that, that have hints of those colors in it. Maybe some could be a little more dominant than others, but you want to kind of strategically place those colors around, but don't go overboard because you don't want it to feel too contrived. I hope that helped you, Margot. Okay. Should you put a picture light above a picture that is under glass? Yes, I have picture lights above pictures that are under glass. But when you buy, here's the thing to keep in mind. If you are buying a picture frame, and I know this because of my art gallery background, you do really want to buy glass that doesn't have a glare, or a plexi that doesn't have a glare, because you don't get, the light will shine into your room. It's going to always have a glare. So you want to try to go with glass or plexi without a glare. So the light shining over it wouldn't be an issue. But what I would do with the picture light is if it's in a frame and it's glass and it's not glare proof glass, then you want to elevate the picture light above it a little bit. So it just kind of shines light around it. So I don't have a way to illustrate this, but let's see, what can I do? Okay, here's a poster. The picture light would normally be like right around here, right? Shining over it. But if you have it in glass, you want to kind of elevate it and make sure it comes out a little bit more so it provides like a halo around so you don't get so much of the glare. I hope that helps. Did you put, okay. Definitely revisit those. Yes, do revisit those. The fundamentals of design, or the principles of design. It's called the Fundamentals of Creativity playlist. So check that out. Yes. Yes, you're building your design skills. But we all have a raw talent, I think. And then the design skills just help us kind of fine tune that. And also I feel like it helps you to trust your intuition, because so many times I'm telling you all need to learn how to trust your intuition. So many times when I make these videos, you all are like listening to it and you're like, yes, that's exactly it. Yes. And then you leave things in the comments saying, you said exactly what I was already thinking, but I wasn't really like acknowledging it. So you are on track. I think you all need to give yourself some credit. Okay, let's see. For rugs, okay, Rug Source. There's a lot there, but much more affordable than Nordic Knots. Yeah. Hi, Butterfly S. Okay, Jilly. Okay, I have a small bathroom and I'm thinking of getting an open corner shelves for bath towels. Wait, I have a small bathroom and I'm thinking of getting open corner shelves for bath towels. For storage? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Oh, you're speaking to my soul right now. I'm trying to grow my intuition, trusting myself, and finding my raw talents. Yes. You all always say, I was like nodding to everything you were saying as I was watching your video. So you all know. Okay. So, well, I mean, okay. You have a small bathroom and you're thinking of getting open corner shelves for bath towels. Okay. So, I mean, that sounds great. It's hard for me to say what it would look like if I haven't seen the bathroom or the shelves. But let me ask you this. Those corner shelves, do you have enough space? Okay, what are the corner shelves like? Are they like wood? I mean, can you elaborate a little bit more? I want to help you. Oh, St. Louis. Oh, I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. Go Chiefs. Tall with glass. Yes. Okay, where is that? So I don't know if the question is necessarily about if that's a good choice with the corner shelf, or if it's going to fit, or if there's some other solution. But I love corner shelves. I always think they're a great idea because you're fully utilizing the corner, which sometimes if you're just putting a shelf in, you end up with like some space that's not utilized. Okay. But also make sure you have enough room that it's not overpowering the space. And then also think about like what's on the other side of that. Is it, I'm sorry, I'm totally distracted by all these messages. I have 2 clans. Happy Wednesday. I used to have a cat. I'm tired. Okay. Ava Live, thank you for all your comments. All right. Okay. I think hopefully we're good now with all of the texts, the messages. All right, everyone. Butterfly S, if you want to find my email in the comments and send me a message, I will take a look at your corner shelves for the bath towels. In theory, I think it sounds like a great idea. I just I don't know what the dilemma is. But if you want to email me, I'm happy to help you there. All right. I think we got kind of lost with Ava Life. She was telling us a lot about herself right now. All right, everyone. Well, I want to thank you so much for being a part of these lives. I want to thank every person that has contributed their home and allowed me to look at what they're doing and allowed me to help out with kind of fixing their home. I hope I brought you inspiration. Again, I go back to trust your intuition. You're the ultimate judge of what looks good and what feels good in your home. Nobody can tell you better than that. It is your sacred space. It is your home. So I want to send all of you so much love, and I'll see you on the video on Sunday. Thank you for all your kind words when I was not feeling well. So bye. Bye. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love you all. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you. Sending you all big hugs. All right. See you Sunday. Oh, thank you, Ava. All right. Bye.